It's been 3 weeks.
Galaxie Studio adjacent.
Okay.
So there'll be a little bit of ambient noise because it's hot out today.
It's humid.
Yeah. But we have
Special guest today, Kristin Cline from Driving Line Magazine.
Howdy, howdy.
How's it going?
Good.
So August
1st.
August 1st.
Angel Stadium. What's going on?
Auto Enthusiast Day, brought to you by Nitto Tire. So, this is their third annual. They started the show a few years ago up in Fontana, I think. Really just as a way of wanting to throw a big show for genuine auto enthusiasts. It's pretty cool because, they're a tire brand that makes specifically enthusiast-driven tires, whether that's for sport compact, which is kind of where they started at, or off-road tires are another area that they're really big in. So you'll see Nittos out at the track. Mustang guys are huge into Nittos. There's all these different niches that Nitto Tire is really strong in. So they just wanted to throw a show for their customers, for enthusiasts, whether you're on Nittos or not, to come out and enjoy. So every year it's grown. It's been really awesome. We also kicked off our first show in Texas this year. So now we're kicking it big style back in Anaheim at Angel Stadium.
This is the first time in Angel Stadium.
Second.
There's a second time.
Yeah, we were there last year.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And as far as events, what do they have planned? I mean, I think I did see something about drifting and...
Yeah, it's there's sometimes you go to car shows and just sit around all day. This is not one of those car shows.
Okay.
There's tons to do. There'll be a ton of different vendors, and then they'll have their Nitto Tire racing crew out there doing demos all day, as well as some motorcycle guys. Drifting guys will be there. Von Gittin, Mad Mike will be there with his new awesome Rad Bull car. 4 or 5 at least of their drifting guys, and then 2 or 3 off-road guys will be there with their Ultra 4 buggies too, which, those aren't things that you normally see out of the dirt. And
True.
It's really cool to see them like drifting along with the drift cars and just seeing everything that those vehicles are capable of in an arena that you don't normally get to see them. It's pretty sweet.
So this is going to be in the parking lot, not inside where they have the usual January off-road monster truck jam going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. No, it's all in the parking lot.
All in the parking lot.
Takes up a huge amount of space.
Yeah.
So you can watch the guys do racing demos. We'll be having 1 or 2 giveaways via Driving Line to ride along with Vaughn or one of the other guys. And then there'll be, last year, I think our car show participants were, I want to say around 600. I could totally be wrong in that. I might actually be under, but a good amount of cars. And what's really cool to me, coming from the classic car world, is you go to a classic car show, you see classic cars, which is what we totally love. But working on Driving Line has really opened me up to be able to see and get to know off-road world, get to know, Europeans, exotics, all these different niches that can sometimes be so pinpointed and specific. Driving Line covers all of them, and at Auto Enthusiast Day, there'll be a little bit of everything, which is really refreshing for a change, actually.
So there's no cutoff year. It's
no
pre-73. No.
So new cars, old cars,
everything.
So it could be your souped-up latest Nissan to
you might have a slammed Nissan next to a lifted diesel. It's
open to everybody, as it said. Auto Enthusiast Day. And
it's totally free, which is also awesome. So whether you're coming just to hang out or whether you're bringing your car, totally free.
Oh, it's free to bring in your car?
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally free event.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just free as a spectator, just to roll up.
Bring your car in. It's totally free.
So you have to register for that then, or is it just can you just go day of show?
Yeah, there is an online registration thing. you can go to autoenthusiastday.com, and that'll take you to the registration page. You know, put in your car, make, and model. Last year we did let in people who just showed up at the show too, and that's kind of, we're actually getting to capacity for car show registrants, so there's a possibility that people who aren't registered this year might get turned away, so I'd go register.
Right, because you have to take into account fire department, emergency vehicles,
Absolutely.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then the whole organization of, I would imagine, is like, in general, like these cars are going to be over here, and this type of car would be over here.
So yeah, do you break
There's
them
a
out
little
that
bit of
way?
that.
Or?
I mean, I'm not saying like here's your spot. I'm just saying like there's got to be some sort of general organization.
A little bit.
Oh, okay. So you could be parked next to anybody with a lifted truck to a motorcycle to
Could be.
car.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great show.
It's free, William. You have live music, I take it? DJ something?
There's music going on. Honestly, we had talked about having live music, and I think we ended up saying, you know what, there's already too much else going on. But there are some live radio stations doing their thing and live music. Jared DeAnda, who's the voice of Formula Drift, will be there DJing the event, and and actually having some like live feed video. Live feed video is viewable online too, so we'll be live streaming the show. It's can't say it again. Like, there's so much going on during the show. It's like if there's not some racing going on, then Jared or somebody's up sharing something. There's a ton of giveaways, car show trophies. There's a little bit of everything,
and some celebrities.
Yeah, definitely. Von Gittin Jr., Mad Mike, Tanner Faust actually is supposed to be there as well. He is on the Nitto Tire Racing team this year.
So Nitto just decided to put this on for good PR and to get people more focused on Nitto Tire and to kind of like what the SEMA Action Network has done with the National Collector Car Appreciation Day. It's a little more focused to auto enthusiasts in general.
Yeah. Whatever niche you come from, it's just let's throw a big party and celebrate what we all enjoy so much.
Right, 4 wheels, or well, in this case, 2 wheels as well, huh? What are the hours?
Starts at 11 a.m., so you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn. Goes until 5. If you are bringing in your car to be part of the show, roll-in is before 11, so check online for all the details of that when you register.
And they'll have snacks and goodies, and you can...
Yeah, there's food vendors there.
Food vendors and midway vendors and manufacturing vendors and
Yep.
radio stations.
Check out
what are we missing, William? Tattoos?
Parts companies.
Cruise?
Too bad, no cruise.
No
tattoos on
No
set.
tattoos.
Unfortunately.
No
They
cruise, huh?
should have one. If you wanted to get a Nitto Tire tattoo,
I was going to say
you can get one for free.
A temporary lead adhesive.
No
cruise,
Sorry,
huh?
no tattoos.
No tattoos. Okay.
So how did Driving Line get involved with this?
Nitto Tire built Driving Line. Again, kind of bringing back they're really into enthusiasts, and they wanted to put out genuine automotive content that enthusiasts would dig. So Driving Line was started in 2012, and then a year ago we launched our first print magazine, which comes out quarterly as well. So online there's daily content, multiple content per day, and again it spans everything from off-road to exotics.
Right.
And
well, of course.
it's really cool to learn about niches that you're not normally involved in, and then the print magazine will actually be released at Auto Enthusiast Day. So our next issue 4 will be there to pick up for free at Auto Enthusiast Day. It's got Mad Mike on the cover, and has lots of cool photography and car stories inside for you.
And you do some of the photography, and you do some of the editing and writing and layouts and contacts
I'm managing editor of it, and I came on board with it a few years ago. And it's been cool to see it, grow from a tiny little blog to
money-making machine. There you go. Right on.
Well, I don't know if it's
Traveled
money-making.
the world, right?
Yeah. So I get to, from everything from, connecting with contributors and figuring out what everybody's writing about to actually going out there and covering races and covering events myself, doing photography, writing, a little bit of everything. Keeps me busy.
That's a National Geographic for motorsports right there.
Yeah, but
well, last weekend I was in San Bernardino for an Ultra 4 race, and 2 weeks before that I was in Attica, Indiana for an Ultra 4 race in the rain. It kind of did feel like National Geographic for cars.
Got the old camera vest on. You're pulling out different cameras of checking lenses and
The
batteries.
fashionable yellow vest.
Yeah, right. right.
after you sign your life,
one, right?
after you sign your life away,
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Stay behind the barrier, right?
don't go past there.
Don't go past that line, right? Always
There
watch the
aren't
cars.
necessarily barriers in Ultra 4 racing, so yeah, you have to be pretty smart.
What is Ultra 4 racing?
Ultra 4 for people who probably lots of Primer podcast listeners who aren't into off-road very much. Ultra 4 started about 10 years ago as a bunch of rock crawler guys who actually wanted to race instead of just rock crawl. And so it really combines the both of off-road racing, like high-speed desert racing, with rock crawling. So their kind of epic event of the year is called King of the Hammers. It's out in Johnson Valley.
Out by Barstow.
Yeah,
okay.
kind of out there
Right.
in the boondocks, and it's a week-long event with the main race being a full day long. So they start early in the morning and they go 12, 18 hours before the cutoff. And, they go everything from 100, 120 miles an hour through the desert to crawling these gnarly 10-foot rock faces. And, it's just amazing to see what these buggies are capable of. And at King of the Hammers, that, these drivers do that for 12 to 18 hours of driving is just insane. They dub it the toughest one-day race on Earth. So, and having been out there for a couple of years, I would totally agree with that. But outside of King of the Hammers, they do have a national championship race, both on the West Coast and East Coast. So there's 8 races a year total. And, these guys are not high-paid, money-making drivers.
I was going to say, can you
you
make a
know,
good
they're-
living doing this? Right.
They're guys who pour everything they have into these rigs that are amazing to see. Shannon Campbell is a big name in Ultra 4 racing and off-road racing. He's been in that sort of stuff for like 20 years. Lauren Healy is also a big name. He's won King of the Hammers a couple times. Both he and Shannon have. And so they're super nice guys. They know their car stuff, and it's really awesome to see what they build and race.
Well, the engineering for such extremes has got to be incredible.
Yeah. It's
I mean, to go
Right,
to go fast one moment and then same vehicle switch to crawling.
absolutely, yeah. And it's really actually, SEMA came out last time to King of the Hammers because in terms of kind of automotive aftermarket, it's really pushing the boundaries because, before we had trophy trucks and, there are off-road buggies that do desert racing, but this is calling for something totally different. Throwing in the rock crawling combined, it's just crazy hard. And so they're constantly pushing the boundaries of parts holding up to, engineering and how they put their cars together. It's neat to see them evolve.
So as far as the race team, is it requirements to have one driver throughout the whole day, or can they switch off? Or
Single driver. And
okay,
the race course at King of the Hammers is about an 80-mile course, and there is a main pit area and 2 remote pits, and that is the only place that they can access parts. There are no chase vehicles.
No chase vehicles. Okay.
So we've got guys who might break down miles from a pit. They run back. The driver runs back to the pit to pick up the part that he needs to fix his car, and runs back to his car and fixes that out in the middle of the desert. And then keeps on going. The driver, yeah. So there's a driver and there's a co-driver. Although some of these guys now, a lot of the top guys are racing single-seaters and don't have a co-driver. So, at King of the Hammers, that's a real challenge because you've got 80 miles of desert to navigate. And if you get off course, that's a dock in your, time against you. But there are guys that do it without co-drivers, and
well, you wouldn't be a very good navigator for me. Yeah. Right. At least you admit it, man.
Oh yeah.
not so good at reading a map, William.
No, I can read a map, but I've
only when he puts his glasses on.
But just in general, no sense of direction.
That's just like me. I do not know north from south unless I'm next to the ocean. And even then, I have to think about it.
I totally have to think because
stop, look around.
Because of this area of Long Beach, it's like that's south.
Yeah.
South is the ocean, not west, and so that alone just messes with you.
Yeah, we don't have that inherent.
Like I said, I get lost in Long
Compass.
Beach.
I got lost inside of a store. Good gracious.
Oh, I totally understand.
Yeah.
You have to memorize. Okay, hit a landmark.
Exit?
Yeah, it's like there it is. So, where's Driving Line sending you next?
Where is Driving Line sending me next? I don't know off the top of my head. I was supposed to go to Speed Week, which is both a love of mine, but also something, it's really awesome when you get to integrate your work's passions.
Sure,
your own passions into your work.
Else can pay for your way to get there.
Yeah, so last year I was supposed to drive for the first time at Speed Week. I've been going for 6 years now. And last year Speed Week got rained out.
That's right,
so
right.
We got as far as Vegas and stayed there a couple days waiting for the final word. And this year, actually, the SCTA just put out some announcements a week ago saying they couldn't find a solid place for a 7-mile track out there on the salt. And I think it has a little bit to do with the rain, but also has to do with the actual salt conditions, which that's just crazy science how the salt surface forms and whatnot. So they're kind of in limbo of whether they'll hold the event, and might just be a limited 4-mile course. And actually, my husband and I decided not to go last week because...
What were you planning to drive last year?
A 55 Studebaker, just like my own car. Yeah, so I drive a 55 Studebaker. It's my baby, my Studi. But this fellow who built a 55 Studebaker to race out there, which actually is a street legal car. It's not it isn't a record-breaking car. It's a car to go out there and experience it and
go as fast as you can.
Kind of have fun. So, I would be able to get my first license or two in it, which, a dream of mine is to one day build my own car out there. So, this would kind of be a first step for that. But, so we're not going to go this year just because there's just too much in limbo to stay in limbo of whether the event's going to happen or not.
Right.
Moving on.
Right. It's like
next year
reservations
should be better.
And, hotels and
it's
all
a
that
lot
stuff.
to go out there, but it's definitely worth it if you've thought about going out to Speed Week, to the Bonneville Salt Flats and haven't gone. I totally recommend you to go. It's an experience like no other. It's amazing.
We were planning on going last year.
And here we are in July.
Right.
Take some planning ahead of time.
Well,
yeah.
I think it was financially last year. We decided not to.
It's funny how money gets in the way, isn't it?
Money does get in the way of our hobby.
Did a cheap hobby, right?
Well, now that I know it's unstable, let me
Yeah,
scratch that off the list. We're not going this year.
I guess you could probably get more information about that with the. Isn't it also that Save the Salt?
Save the Salt.
Save the Salt
Organization.
is a huge organization that is trying to save the salt. And, again, it's crazy science behind how that salt is formed. And, there's been some different factors and companies and organizations, involved in whether the salt is,
stable and acceptable.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because they do, industrial things out there and whatnot with the salt. And but then there's also just the geological factor too. So Save the Salt is super important because, we started, really hot rodding started out on the salt flats. That's where guys went to really test out their mettle of whether they could really stand up to their bragging rights, right?
The 200-mile-an-hour club,
Right,
the 300-mile-an-hour
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
the
And all
extreme.
these companies
Yeah.
that we take for granted today
Started there. Right.
started there. And, it still remains to be just a place where people push the boundaries, everything from a guy who just tinkers in his garage to these multi-million-dollar, streamliners that break in 400 miles per hour plus. And it's neat to see everybody out there together, and you need a part, you go ask them, and if they have it, they'll let you use it, It's just an amazing place where this, ingenuity and hard work and passion and is all put to the test, on the track. So hopefully with Save the Salt, they'll really figure out a way to keep that surface the way that it's
Supposed to be and optimal
supposed
for
to be.
everybody.
Yeah. I mean, as it is, the salt, these guys say that, it used to be multiple feet deep, and
Yes,
now
yeah.
we're getting down to inches deep. And it's a really mysterious surface, and it's not the same already as it used to be. So really important that we do everything we can to maintain it.
Interesting.
Only place in the world like it.
Okay.
So anyway, Speed Week. Yeah.
Cool, man. So how's you mentioned the Studebaker. How is your Studebaker? Seems to me you had
Well, okay,
What?
let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk about the Studebaker.
okay. Got an old engine that needs to be rebuilt? Thinking about souping up your hot rod or muscle car with a new high-performance engine? Check out Whole Shot Performance Racing Engines. They specialize in engine building and parts. You can go to their website at hprengines.com.
Alrighty, so the Studebaker
The 55 Studebaker. Commander.
Champion.
Studi dude.
Commander? Champion?
Champion.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Is there something subtle? One's
One's has some trim. It's subtle.
it's a
Same
trim.
body style.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So generally, people would just be like, "Oh, it's a Studebaker coupe," or
right, or hardtop. Or,
yeah. So it's 55 Studebaker Champion.
And I see.
Well, how did you get a hold of it?
I got her from a guy in Utah who had got it from somebody else in Utah that had been sitting there for 20 years in a garage. And it's been about 9 years ago that I purchased it on my move to LA, actually, as my daily
Wow.
driver and first classic car. So she wasn't drivable when I got her, and actually took a year and a half to get her to a point where she was, where I shared my best friend's and roommate's car during the time, which she was in grad school, so it kind of helped out both of us. I did the maintenance and kept it running, and we shared driving. But anyways, so so Studi's been with me for a long time, and she has been laid up for a year and a half now.
Yeah,
I parked her November.
See, it's funny how we remember those dates. But we could remember what today was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it helps too because on Grease Girl, I kind of document my
Right.
journey with her. And so if I'm ever uncertain, I can just go back, oh, yeah, it was November that I put her in the garage. But yeah, what I thought was going to be, 6 months is now a year and a half. And,
right.
but it has been my first engine rebuild. She actually has just a small block Chevy in her, which was a choice I made back when the original engine needed to either be completely rebuilt or replaced.
Right.
And as a first-time classic car owner and daily driver and first-time entrance into the garage and working on things myself, I made that choice as a feasibility, and which was wise. I think it was the right decision. Although I do have a '53 Caddy engine in my garage, waiting to be built, and she will become a Studebaker when finances enable that to happen. Caddy engines aren't the cheapest things to build, though. I've discovered. But anyway, so I just rebuilt the small block Chevy because she needed it. I put my odometer doesn't work, so I can't be certain. But going on how much I drive and how many years I've driven her, probably 80,000 miles on the engine, and so it's been really cool rebuilding an engine for the first time and learning a ton. And along with that, then I also put in a low-car shifter, floor shifter, because we had totally jimmy rigged something with the old manual column shifter on the Studebaker.
Okay.
Yeah, never really worked right. Like, I had to have that special owner's touch to drive it,
Right. Only you know how to drive it.
Which is endearing and is something I love, but is also actually, that was the straw that broke the camel's back when I actually parked her, because it had degraded to, I was, having 5-minute battles of jerking around the column shifter, trying to get it to go into gear. And good gracious, if I needed to parallel park or anything, it was just a nightmare. But that needed to be fixed. So I was like, okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to, put in the floor shifter. We're going to rebuild the engine. And then I also ended up adding disc brakes, because I have lost the brakes on that car before. You can read all about that amusing story on my blog. And
no need for coffee.
Yeah, actually jumped out of my car when I lost the brakes, and then jumped back in.
Really?
All in a bathing suit. If you can picture that.
Oh, wow.
How do you jump out and then jump back in if the car is moving forward? Because I've tried.
William has tried that. He was unsuccessful.
I was very unsuccessful.
It's all those dreams of being a stunt woman, maybe. But no, she was rolling at a speed that I was.
It must not have been downhill.
No. It was in a neighborhood in Santa Monica, and she lost the brakes at a stop sign and had rolled through a couple since then, and was about to go on to Olympic, a major cross street. But she had gotten to just kind of like a healthy roll, but a roll that didn't seem to be stopping at all. And my completely irrational brain said, oh, maybe if you could just give it a little push from the front, you could stop it. This is how much I love my car. So I expelled my body from the car, went to the front of my car, and tried to push it and make it stop, as if I'm Superwoman. But I was not, and I realized how ridiculous of a notion that was, and that there was nobody in the driver's seat. And quickly ran back to the door and hopped back in my bare feet.
E-brake?
I don't have an e-brake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I changed my exhaust and the e-brake line, which wasn't actually connected, was kind of in the way down there, I was like, just take it out. It's all these lessons as a first-time car owner classic car owner that you learn, like, no, you shouldn't take out your e-brake.
Okay.
It's necessary for situations like this.
Oh my gosh.
But I learned some things with losing my brakes that time. But even so, I had since upgraded to a dual master cylinder right after that happened, but I hadn't upgraded to disc brakes in the front. I didn't want to, and money's always tight, and I thought the brakes worked pretty much fine. And then, after I rebuilt the engine and we were taking it out for test drives, they had degraded even further during
And you
sitting
can
there.
feel
And it's
it.
kind of like, I know everything should be fine. Like all the wheel cylinders, everything should be fine. I know the last time I changed the pads and, but finally, both driving it and then my husband being like, "You are not driving this car like this, babe." Pulled off the front wheels and realized how bad the front brake pads had gotten, and they had actually chewed up the inner drums. And again, like, they should have been fine, but if something is not working right on your car, go see with your own eyes what is going on. You can't say, well, that should be fine, that part should be fine, I just replaced it. Go look at it and figure out what's going on. So yeah, they were totally chewed up, and actually, because it's a Studebaker, parts aren't so easy to come by.
I was going to say, where do you get a front disc brake conversion kit for a 55 Studebaker?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it has to do with the wheel stud pattern.
Wheel stud pattern and, all of the little minute dimensions of the hub and everything down there. So actually I could replace the parts, but they would cost me just as much as this conversion kit
Right.
cost me. But the Studebaker community, even though parts are hard to come by, there are some companies that provide, remanufactured parts and whatnot, but they're expensive. And then, we're a pretty tight-knit community in the Studebaker world. So, there's a Studebaker Drivers Club and a Studebaker Drivers Forum that's super helpful. And so there's, there's two different guys that make these Studebaker disc conversion kits. And, it really is just a bracket that they've figured everything out. And then there's some parts from both late model Chevys and Fords, the rotor from one and the caliper from another. And, so they tell you all the years and everything.
So little this, little that.
So it's something that
Ingredients,
technically you could figure out on your own, but
Somebody
somebody else has already done
already
the trial
done
and error, and it's totally worth
done
paying
the
for.
time.
Yeah.
Amen for forums.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
How
that's
did we
cool.
survive before?
How did we
then?
do that before? Exactly.
Yeah.
Shop
Just
manual.
hours and hours of.
Hey, I know
Not
a
even
guy.
that. Oh
yapping.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a buddy. You
Looks
might know how to do
about
that.
the same size as
Which
the
we
one.
still do that sometimes, anyways, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So
dual-
Judy is almost done. She will be at Auto Enthusiast Day,
Oh.
in the flesh, under her own power. So I'm so excited to have her back on the road. It's been really lonely without her.
Yeah, because
past
the
year and a
last
half.
car show it was at was like Moon Eyes
Was that
2 years ago?
Well, that might have been the Falcon, actually. Not this past Moon Eyes, but
one
the Moon Eyes before we drove the Falcon.
Is that
That
the
was
Falcon
our
I see in the background of your engine photos?
Yeah.
Oh, the white one?
yes.
Yeah, that was the day I almost
That's
died on the freeway.
Oh, dear. Transmission
Yeah.
problems. Right.
Transmission froze.
We're living on the edge here.
Yeah,
in the
transmission
classic car
froze
world.
at 65 miles an
Oh,
hour.
yikes.
On the
Oh.
freeway.
On the truck, right?
In the truck.
It locks up.
Good times.
No need for
And
coffee there.
Live to tell the tell.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember.
But made it to the show.
We made it to that show that year in the Falcon. With it, that was like work 24 hours up to the.
That's
when it was
right, you
trying
guys
to
were
get
doing
that
the
thing done. We actually did
turn
that
and
2 years
burn.
in a row because we're silly.
That's right, because
You were thrashing on that.
A couple
That's right.
weeks before that is when I picked up those Galaxie parts.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
from your
And we were
husband.
doing like
your husband was like,
We won't say what we were doing in the garage.
Yeah.
California wouldn't like it.
but I remember
Might
the
have included paint.
may not have included paint.
It's funny how that works, isn't it? Like, what was California done? I mean, just
We were trying to
regulated
order
everything.
a battery charger, like one of those rolling, like engine start for your truck, actually. And the one we wanted to order, it wouldn't ship to California.
you mean like when you
Like a
get like
battery charger.
yeah, but on wheels you said like a
On
car,
wheels.
like
Yeah,
something
like
you'd
one
see
of-
it at
Right,
and a
that you plug in
mechanic
the wall,
shop.
that,
Mechanic
right,
shop.
and then you can fire
Yep.
fire
Or
it
you
right
could-
from it or charge it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you go to AutoZone, the guy would come out with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't buy one.
Couldn't order it shipped
What?
to California. Yeah. But anyways,
That's
we're off
weird.
the subject here.
Well,
The last car show Studebaker, honestly, I can't even remember. Because even at that in there, she was kind of limping for 6+ months, and she wasn't going too far from home. So I'm excited for road trips. I'm excited to drive her around town again.
so that
Excited to
you
get around
didn't have to do
freeways.
anything to the transmission when you did the engine swap.
Oh no, we did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Initially, when we switched out the
That was a V8, right?
Studebaker engine, which was a V8, although
Right. Different.
initially the car had come with a V6, but it did have a Studebaker V8 when I got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Kind of keeping those cars came underpowered. They should have had 8s because they looked so much faster than anything
yeah,
of their
yeah,
time. But
you didn't tell
Studebaker
me
was putting
about
out 6s. One of the reasons why Studebaker isn't around anymore. But
Great styling though.
yeah, we changed out everything from the
Whole drivetrain
rear
then.
axle
On the
yeah,
rear end too,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's a full,
Yeah.
bona fide hot rod. It's got the Ford 9-inch, the 700R4, which I need to change out for a 4th time.
Why?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The first 2 were, or 3. The first 3 were all junkyard.
Oh, you just
could
picked one off the-
700R4 anywhere.
We'll see what I get.
And then, but the last one was good money paid for, reputable guy, and about 6+ months into having put it in, it started leaking and just hemorrhaging, really. I have done absolutely everything I can to get it to leak. I discovered that there's a crack in the body, right where one of the pan bolts comes through. So we've done everything we can to fix it. And during the engine rebuild, Ethan worked his magic on that to kind of the final push to see if it would work, and it's still leaking. So
Ugh.
it is working fine at this point, other than needing to place a bowl underneath the car every time I park. Transmission fluid is not cheap.
No, it's messy.
Yeah.
Always
yeah.
ends up somewhere.
Yeah.
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 So it's
Anyways.
so the engine's almost done.
Engine is done.
Okay, the engine's you just have to
Although
put,
I am actually today when I go back home, I should be changing the distributor. It's had some really difficult tuning issues during the rebuild, and it was never an engine that was in tune. Probably in all the years that I drove it was correctly in tune, but and some of that was because it was just, it seems like the guy who built it, because we had kind of picked it up from another car project, an abandoned car project, and
okay.
plunked it into mine, and never really knew all the details of what was in the engine, and overbuilt. Like, the guy was building something for the drag strip probably, and here I am daily driving it. So it just had a huge carb on it. It's got
more
more
cam than what you need.
healthy for it.
Oh,
It had a high-rise intake on it, which during the engine rebuild put a great Edelbrock Performer, more manageable intake on it, along with a smaller Edelbrock carburetor. So that has, I can already tell that it's made a huge difference, even though it's not quite in tune yet.
But it's breathing better.
Yeah, so much better.
yeah.
So much better. But so there's this little issue that we think might have to do with the distributor, and
You running points on that distributor, or are you doing
no,
a
it's
Pertronics?
HEI.
Oh, okay.
But I have an MSD waiting for me at home to put in it. So
Wow. Well,
well,
you
it's
got
work.
something cool to
Full day
do
ahead of
later
me.
today. Yeah. MSD. Got to go. I understand.
Okay, so third annual Auto Enthusiast Day.
Third annual Auto Enthusiast Day. Come on out, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, August 1st, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Totally free. Bring
Free,
a few
free,
dollars
free.
for parking. I think it's $10.
Bring a family.
But the event is totally free. Bring out your car, bring the family, tons of kids, great things for kids to do. Really fun day.
Smell some burning rubber.
Sounds great.
That's
Now,
cool, man.
how do people get a hold of you and your blog?
My personal blog that I document Studio's adventures on is called Grease Girl, greasegirl.com. You can find me there, or at my day job, you can find me at drivingline.com, which is all of the other automotive world adventures and awesomeness.
Definitely worth checking out. All right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Kristin.
Hope to see you guys at Auto Enthusiast Day.
Oh, we'll be there.
But there'll be